I'm going to call this meeting to order, and we have one addition. We're going to discuss a request for stone for a project at the Dummerston School. And with that, we'll move on to our minutes of April 20th.
I'd like to move that the minutes of April 20th meeting be approved.
I'll second that.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, we have bills for payment. We have warrants 23 and 23P. We have the Conservation Commission number 3, Reappraisal Fund number 1, and the Recreation Board number 4.
I'll make a motion we approve the warrants 23, 23P, Conservation Commission number 3, Reappraisal Fund number 1, and Recreation Board number 4.
I'll second that.
Okay, any discussion? Warrant 23 is for a total of $35,660.77, and that went towards salt for the roads, fuel, highway department, supplies and repairs, electric for the municipal buildings. That's about, those were the major ones that I recall. Also there was the sand from the carpenter pit. That was a big one.
Oh, yeah.
So, any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, now, let's see, Joann Erenhouse from Senior Solutions, the Council of Aging is going to, do I have that right? Yes.
Shall we wear my mask?
Sure.
Thank you.
Bring your light up. Okay.
Thank you for letting me join the meeting tonight.
Sure.
Before I start my explanation of our new programs and
Yes.
updates and just to
You can sit down if you'd like,
I can?
if you'd be more comfortable. We're rather informal here.
Okay. Make sure you can hear me okay?
Okay.
Yep. So we have new programs and benefits and things that we want to share with people who are 60 or older or who are disabled. Senior Solutions is the Council on Aging for Southeastern Vermont. But before I launch in and try to, give you some information, I want to thank Dummerston for, again, including us in your town vote. I know that we got accepted as, getting a donation every year from you people. And not that we look forward to taking money from our communities. It's more just that it's an acknowledgement that you know that we're here for you, that if you fund us or not, we will serve the community. Because our mission is as part of the V4A, which is the Vermont Association of Agencies on Aging. We are funded by the government through the Older Americans Act, and also a lot of that money comes through the Department of Aging and Independent Living in Vermont. But, and we get a lot of grants, and we work very hard. But we want to know what you guys need. What does your population want? Because it's not for us to say, here's what you need. Here's what we want to do for you. We want to communicate and have you tell us if your community has a certain need or the aging people in the community have a special challenge. Please reach out and share that with us. Because, our mission is to keep people in their homes as long as possible, in good health, good nutrition, safe, and with dignity. There are so many programs available, but people don't know about it. I think we were established in 1973, and there are still people in Vermont or southeastern Vermont, who don't know what Senior Solutions does. So that's why I'm here. And I thank you for the opportunity. So before I go into a lot of specifics, I'm just going to let you know a range of types of services we can offer. Just going to go down the list real fast. So if anybody out there in the TV viewing area has a pen and pencil, now be the time to pick it up. We help with application and benefits assistance. If somebody needs to sign up for Medicare, Medicaid, under Medicaid there's choices for care, which is a fabulous option. Say you have a stroke and you go into the hospital, now they're going to discharge you, but the doctor goes, "No, you can't go home. You can't take care of yourself. You can't cook, you can't walk, you can't dress yourself. You're going to have to go in a nursing home." No, you don't. If you're on Medicaid, you can tell your primary care physician that you want choices for care. That would enable you to go home where you want to go and hire someone to come in for the number of hours that you would require care, such as you would receive in a nursing home. Nothing wrong with nursing homes. When you reach a certain stage in life, it's probably the best place. But until that time, most of us don't want to give up the house we've lived in for 40 or 50 years. We want to be where our community, friends and acquaintances and services are. So if you sign, give us a call. If you're not on Medicaid, sign up for Medicaid if you're eligible. And you get choices for care, and you can stay home. I know it's hard to get home health care workers. It's a real shortage across the whole country, really. But there are programs like ARIS and things like that you can hire your neighbor, your spouse, your friend, somebody to be that caregiver, so long as you follow the procedures and set someone up like yourself to be the employer and keep the hours that they come and take care of you or your loved one. Because right now, there's a real shortage of help, and spouses and adult children of parents who are not able to care for themselves. They're having a hard time. They're working, they're trying to keep their jobs, they're trying to take care of the parents. I personally had a very good friend who had a business. He almost gave up his business because his mother was trying to climb out of a second-story window in February because she had dementia. And she was trying to go back to her childhood home or something. He had to almost lose his business to take care of her. And that happens to so many people. So there are ways that we can help connect our aging population with the services that they and their caregivers deserve. It's not charity. You get Social Security checks, that's not charity. So the government has set up the Older Americans Act to provide money for services and programs to help those of us who may be retired 20, 30 years ago. Oh, it's a nice retirement package. Hasn't kept up with inflation. Even with Social Security benefits, we all know they haven't kept up with inflation. So I have to beg our wonderful population who are so proud and so private. You can call us. It's not charity. You ask a question. Tell us what your issue is. If you don't get the benefits that are provided through the Older Americans Act, that money sits in the government's bank account. It can't go to the young couple down the road that maybe is struggling or has several children and they can't seem to manage. That money's only for those of us who are 60 and older. And if we don't use it, it sits with the government, and that does not help anyone. So if anybody out listening to this program has a neighbor or a relative or a friend that you think really is having a hard time of it for whatever reason, please encourage them to call us. And I'm going to give you the numbers. Our helpline is open from 8:30 in the morning till 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday through Friday. And over the weekend and after hours, we have an answering service that will pick that up and relay it to our operators. Sometimes it takes a couple days, especially if you call on a Friday night. But we will get back to you. And the number to call, there's two of them. The local number is 1-802-885-2669. And the new toll-free number that I'm going to have to read is 1-866-673-8376. So I just hope you'll write that down and please let us know.
You mentioned that initially the relationship between Choices for Care and Medicaid.
Medicaid.
Do individuals have to be on Medicaid to take advantage of the programs in your?
Yes, but if you are eligible for Medicaid, call us and we'll sign you up for Medicaid.
Yeah.
And then you can get onto the Choices for Care.
Okay.
So here's the thing, what I would do, I shouldn't give advice, but if you're 60 and older and you know you're going into the hospital for something and there's a chance you might, have a long recovery, it wouldn't hurt to call us and say, am I eligible for Medicaid? And we'll see, we'll check it out for you. There are also advantages for people on Medicare. The National Council on Aging has a benefits enrollment center. It's a website with so many benefits that we didn't even know about until last year. If you're on Medicare, we can help with pharmacy, purchases. You can be helped with your utilities. We've helped people on Medicare pay their electric bills and things like that. I mean, just ask. That's the whole thing. There's so many things that we can do, but we try to do a person-centered assistance. There's not a one shoe or one shirt or one sweater that fits all. And certainly not assistance in finances and healthcare. So if you don't ask, we won't know, but if you ask, we'll find an answer. Okay? We may not have the answer right away, but we'll find it. And let us do the heavy lifting. Okay? Now, real quickly, we have caregiver support and resources. We have caregiver respite grants that will provide substitute person money to come in and take care of your loved one for the weekend. Maybe you're just getting burned out. And if you get burned out as a caregiver, not good for you, number one, because you need to be taken care of. Not good for your loved one that you're caring for. And then there's case management. Our case managers check on everyone, keep up to date with if there's any renewals or so forth. We help people sign up for the home delivered meals. We do not ask any of the towns for money for Meals on Wheels because we are the administrative arm. We get the money from the government that we distribute to all the Meals on Wheels providers. And let me tell you, it's not half enough to pay for what they do. Not by a long stretch. So, we would hope that when your local Meals on Wheels providers are asking for donations or doing events to raise money, that's going straight to them to do what they do best, which is to cook the meals and get the volunteer drivers to deliver it, which, as you know, many times, especially in the winter, that Meals on Wheels volunteer driver is literally the only face that homebound person sees. And it's just as good as a wellness check, which is so critical. Let's see, we can connect you with legal assistance through legal aid. We have Medicare counseling, especially leading up to open enrollment. Every month, we have it starting now, every month there is an online Zoom Medicare information meeting so that you can ask questions, you can learn about Medicare before you're signing up. We want people to be educated consumers. Medicare is complicated. There's changes every year or so. So what our expert Patty doesn't know about Medicare, they haven't thought of doing yet. She's so good and she can advise people in a lot of ways whatever their needs are, she can tell them what to look for. We want people to get the plan that suits their medical needs, but also their pocketbooks. So, and we don't sell anything, we don't tell people what to do, we just give information and answer questions so people can make the right choices for themselves. Now, we also have, this is a really good one, we have our volunteer visitor programs. We have a multitude of different areas of volunteer visitors. We started with the Senior Companion Program years ago. And that's a federal program. You have to be, I think, 55 or older. You have to have low income, blah, 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 blah. And it's a little bit regimented, but you do get mileage and you get a small stipend. And some people really love it because they want to help, but they don't want to go broke doing it. So that's the first program. Then we branched out and got the Friendly Visitor Program. A lot of people want to be helpers, they want to be visitors, but they're not old enough. So we started Friendly Visitors. You just have to be an adult. And what I always say is, be a nice person. Be somebody who wants to help. And we do our due diligence, we give everyone background checks, and we train people, and we have monthly support meetings and so forth. What happens is these volunteers form really long-standing friendships with the people they visit. And during COVID, we were able to adapt and did shopping trips. We did porch visits. Some of our visitors, especially our other group, the vet-to-vet visitors, they would take hikes in the woods, they went fishing, they did things outside that were, safer. So we were very adaptable. And in fact, at the height of the COVID, when most of our volunteers were part of the vulnerable population, we put out a call for younger volunteers who maybe were not essential workers or had a business that they weren't able to keep open. We got so many volunteers, it was amazing. And after the COVID situation cooled down a bit and they were able to open their businesses or go back to work, many of them stayed on because they enjoyed visiting with people. They liked, talking and taking people shopping and stuff like that. So people really enjoy it. And right now, we have almost 80 volunteer visitors. And the vet-to-vet program is especially close to our hearts. That we started about 3 or 4 years ago in Brattleboro. And once again, this is not charity. The veterans are so service-oriented, and a lot of them were not going to the American Legion anymore for coffee hour. They couldn't get out, they couldn't drive, or maybe they're not feeling well. So we talked to the American Legion, to the Commandant, at the time it was John Hagan, and we said, we heard there's a vet-to-vet program in Maine. Would you be interested? We laid it out for them, and we said, we want you to be in charge. We'll do all the administrative work. We will set it up. We'll keep track of it. We'll match people up. All you need to do is tell us if it's working for you. How do you like it? Took off really great. Then COVID hit, kind of slowed down. And right now we're branching out in the Upper Valley. We have a new coordinator in the Upper Valley who is herself a veteran from the Air Force. And she's working hard to get people in the Upper Valley to know about this program and get them going. And we set up a Veterans Advisory Council who will keep us focused and make sure that we're doing what the vets want. And we always tell people, and this is so true, they'll tell you themselves, it's an extension of the buddy program. The buddy system that every person in the armed forces learned in boot camp. And they truly, truly have each other's back. And it's worked out beautifully. We have a new program. We just got a terrific grant from AmeriCorps. And that is for our family caregiver respite volunteers. We're talking about people who are caregivers in the home. They can't get out. They're afraid to leave the house because they don't know what's going to happen to their loved one, which ends up having 2 people in that home that are now isolated, which is detrimental to their mental and physical health. So the shortage of workers, we decided we're gonna work hard and get volunteers who are gonna be trained, really trained well, and be able to dedicate maybe 3 or 4 hours at a clip to come in and stay with, keep their eyes on the loved one, and let the caregiver go out to lunch with an old friend, get to their own dental appointment, which they can never do because they can't leave the house. So we're going to be starting this pretty soon. The grant that we got, we're going to be getting, how many? I think we're getting 20 new volunteers starting in September 1st. And really looking forward to this program, and we're going to integrate it with all of our other volunteer activities. And in conjunction with that, this you might really be interested in. On May 18th, from 11 in the morning till 1 p.m. at the Brattleboro American Legion, we are having the grand opening of our Memory Cafe. Now, what's a Memory Cafe? Is everybody familiar with the term?
No, I'm not.
No?
Okay, good, then I'll tell you. A Memory Cafe, I'm gonna read it to you. A Memory Cafe is a wonderfully welcoming place for caregivers and their loved ones who are challenged with forms of dementia or other cognitive disorders. It's a safe and comfortable space where caregivers and their loved ones can socialize, listen to music, play games, and enjoy other appropriate activities. They provide mutual support and exchange of information. This by itself is valuable, if for nothing more than to obtain information about additional resources, as well as to enjoy the company of others who are in the same situation. So again, this is going to be May 18th from 11 to 1 at the American Legion, Post 5 in Brattleboro. There's going to be a welcome, some introductions, plans for the future. You're going to have lunch and social hour. And if you would like to attend, please get your pens and pencils ready. You're going to RSVP to Valerie Stewart at 802-338-6578. And I'm going to post this on your bulletin board, so anybody in the community who's interested in checking this out, really encourage you to attend. These are going to be held, this is the kickoff. The first Memory Cafe is here in the southern quadrant of Windham County in Brattleboro. We're going to have one in Springfield, and eventually we're going to have one up in White River Junction. And wherever it grows from there, whatever the need is, we'll get it set up. But there's been a lot of thought and care and work put into this. And I think it's the time is ready. It's been ready, but now we're able to help. Partly because of the grant we got, it's going to help recruit and retain volunteers and the memory clinics and just keep it sustainable. Because, our older population can't get enough resources. I wish we could just wave a magic wand. And I'm not going to take too much of your time because I know you're probably getting bored. I'm leaving you with this stack. They're pretty heavy. These are big magnets. You know how we used to have these little magnets for the refrigerator? Not everybody can read them. They're kind of small print. This is bigger print, and it covers many of the community partners that we work with. So we've got the Gathering Place, the Brattleboro Hospital, Grace Cottage, of course, Brattleboro Senior Center, HCRS, Bellows Falls Senior Center, and naturally us. But I'll leave this whole stack with you guys.
Sure.
And
Yes,
people
well,
who come
maybe
in.
put them at the town office.
Maybe if you're gonna post at the town office the bulletin, maybe you can just drop them.
Is it open? I can put the magnets in there?
No, it probably goes.
I can
Doesn't-
drop them off there
So
tomorrow.
I just didn't know if you were, yeah, we'll take
Yes,
them.
Dave
I'll
was
take
volunteering.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll hand these off to you're my volunteer?
Yes.
Alrighty, thank you.
Yeah.
And one other thing I want to remind people of, because there's so many other things happening in May, is, Older Americans Month, and, Memorial Day's sneaking up on us too. But we have a monthly newsletter now. It started in January. Lots of things to talk about, all different things that happen. Every month we put them out right on time. I will I'll give this to you.
Yeah.
But the best thing you can do is go to our website, and you'll find how to put your email in and sign up for the newsletter. You'll get the newsletter every month so that you know what's coming up from our end,
Yeah.
and hopefully into your community. What else? I'll think of 3 important things when I get in the car.
Well, I think you've given us a very thorough
Yeah.
review.
I don't know if you can even absorb anymore.
Um,
I'm like,
Let me ask you a quick
Yes,
question.
please.
Is this a Windham County or a Vermont organization, the council, your organization that we've been talking about?
Yep.
Is it Brattleboro? Where is it geographically?
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 1, we're under the umbrella of all the councils on aging.
Okay.
Okay, there's 5 of us. Well, there's really 4, because Central is general. We serve southeastern Vermont, which is Windham and Windsor County. Then you have one up in the Northeast Kingdom, you have one in Burlington, and our partners across the state, Southwest. But we're all a module of the overall state
Okay.
Council on Aging organization. And we do a lot of work together, like, I don't know if you saw it or not, the COVID vaccine promotion, marketing was a statewide effort. And they actually selected 3 of our volunteers to do the professional video produced by a video company in Burlington to say, why did they get the vaccine? To help people get over their reticence. And they did a beautiful job, and we got so many nice comments from around the state of what a wonderful job they did. So,
Yeah.
If you had time, I could stay here until like July.
Yeah, I know you can.
We can't. No.
Thank you so much again.
Thank
And-
you.
Yeah, thank you
Thanks
for
for
coming in.
coming and sharing all the info.
Appreciate it,
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Who's our representative? It used to be Ruth Barton. for a while.
Carol Lynch.
Oh, okay. Carol Lynch,
So I'm gonna,
representative.
Great, thank you very
there's
much.
2 versions of this letter, and
Yeah.
so we can
Okay.
put one on the bulletin board and keep one. Whoops.
Yep,
Here's our general version.
okay.
Here's our latest newsletter. And these are heavy.
Yes. Thank you very much.
I'm delighted to meet you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you,
for
very
coming.
kind of you to come
Very
in.
much for coming,
Thanks.
sharing that information with us. Okay, and so those telephone numbers will be in our minutes, right?
Yeah.
Great.
Great.
Okay, let's see. Going on to the road foreman's report. I think we're still waiting on FEMA.
Yeah.
Daniels is going to, maybe even this week, begin the work on the Johnson's Kerr culvert, pouring that. Let's see. Well, we have the generator bids
Yeah.
and awards. That would be road foreman's report. And I spoke with Lee today. He's recommending we go with, let me make sure I get this right. Yes, Brookfield Service.
Is that the one the third one that's the least expensive?
Yes.
It's 12,799.50.
Yep.
Yeah, that looked good. It looked like the only real difference was that Brookfield didn't offer a 10-year warranty,
Yeah, it was a 5-year.
or at least they didn't list it.
Yeah.
It was 5, but it looked good.
Yeah.
Concrete pad was included.
Yeah, Lee thought they were offering, to put in a concrete pad, and their service policy looked good to him, and they're in the area. He told me he'd been looking for someone else to work on the generators, but just wasn't aware these other groups were around.
Great. Well, I'll make a motion, we approve the generator bid and award to Brookfield Service for $12,799.50.
I can second that.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye? Okay. Let's see. Now we have to obligate ARPA funds to pay for this generator.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion, we obligate ARPA funds to pay for the generator at the town office.
I'll second it.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great. Okay, is there anything under correspondence for information that you'd like to discuss?
The rescue district meeting on May 19th, I'll try to go to that.
Okay. Right. Rescue, good, that'd be important. That'd be great. We got from VLCT, it came in just yesterday, last night or something. They were going to have, I think, a webinar on cannabis retail operations, and I was thinking we might ask Roger to, I don't know if we're going to have many cannabis retail operations wanting to start here, but it would seem like Roger would be the person to keep track of that.
Yeah,
So
That sounds great.
I can ask him about that.
good.
Let's see. If we move on, correspondence for discussion and/or actions. We talked with Philip Goepp about serving on the Connecticut River Joint Commission, and we could make that appointment as we move into new business, I suppose. And if we're ready, we'll go into new business.
I'd like to move that we appoint Phil Goepp as our representative on the Connecticut River Joint Commission.
I'll second that.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, great. Let's see, I have no ARPA update. Anyone else?
Nope.
Okay. Okay, oh, there was the PVR listing and assessing status survey. They want to know how we're doing with our listers. Are we able to find listers, or are they running for election, or do we appoint them, or I'd be happy to fill that survey out unless anyone has a strong desire to.
Nope, go for it.
Yeah, okay, great, I'll take care of that. Okay, do you want to skip over the liquor catering until the end of new business?
Yeah,
Let's
sure,
do
do
that.
it.
Okay, we have a contract with Rescue for the coming year. I hope it's in here. I think it is. There. Okay. And this will be to provide services to the town for the coming next 3 years.
The next 3 years.
Yeah.
Any changes as a result of the Brattleboro decision to?
It doesn't look like it.
I don't think if there was, it's not a major change.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know, there are increases every year.
Yeah.
But,
But that, I mean, the first year is what we're signing.
Yeah.
The next 2 years, even though I'm assuming that they might change.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
yeah, I
all right.
would
Yeah.
think that they might, yeah.
Yeah.
But we'd be good for this year, so. So,
So I'll make a motion that we sign the rescue week contract for this year.
I'll second that.
okay, any discussion? All those in favor?
Right.
Aye.
All right, I'm looking for where we sign. Let's see, right there.
I think it just requires your signature.
Okay,
I
great.
think it's just one.
All right. Okay, then,
Just quickly, we skipped over the Route 5 speed data analysis.
right, thank you. There was a speed survey on Route 5 around between Dummerston Station Road and maybe Schoolhouse Road. And they found, well, these are the results. I don't know if everyone
I did see them.
can show. Mark Pickering was going to meet with, or talk with the people at Walker Farm
Yeah,
about
talk.
possible
Off
ways
Street
that
Park,
they
yeah.
could deal with this. But the speeding wasn't too bad.
No,
There was one person
What?
who was being very bad,
yeah.
and a lot of people that were
Yeah.
being very reasonable.
Was it like 102 miles an hour or something?
Yes, a little over the speed limit, yes. So,
Most people were very well behaved, I would say.
Yeah.
yes, the majority, yeah. Let's see, moving on. An update on the treasurer's report. David and I met with Charlotte last week to go over the fiscal reports that she prepared and try to get a better sense of where we are standing right now. And I came away somewhat better informed than I had been at our last meeting.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I thought that she had pretty good control over the accounts. I know that Maria I think Terry had reservations or concerns about whether or not there was issues with keeping track of the various funds in the various, and having it mingled into the checking account. But I think that we talked at length about that and feel quite comfortable that in fact the accounts are kept quite separate and that there's no risk of there being confusion and problems really in the system that they're using. That was my impression.
Yeah, that was mine also. She also said that she agreed that it would appear cleaner if we were to use the line of credit rather than draw ARPA funds. But she's hoping not to have to draw any ARPA funds to cover other shortfalls.
Yeah.
And she felt that keeping that line of credit available might come in handy when we have to deal with the cost of the Camp Arden Road projects. So that was her thinking. And so she seemed, those were her, the way she was thinking the best way to handle this was. But she seemed open to if we had other thoughts or wanted to discuss it more. So we set up a meeting for next Wednesday at 5:30. We'll meet here, and Charlotte will be here also.
Yeah.
We'll get this squared away. She felt that we would have enough funds to make it to the end of the fiscal year without drawing on the ARPA or the line of credit. That's
Right.
what I got.
Yeah, yes, you did.
Yeah, it'll be close, but she's anticipating some money coming back from the school district.
Yeah.
So, any questions or? All right. Let's see. The fire department would like to meet with us at 5:30 on May 18th. How's everyone?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Great. Good. Now, we could go to the liquor catering.
We also have the stone, the
Oh,
granite
the
pieces.
stone, good, thanks, I'm glad you paying more attention than I am. We got a request from Adam
Hubbard.
Hubbard, who's part of the group that's working on the school, the elementary school grounds and play area. And they'd like to build an amphitheater there, similar to the one at Saxon's River School. And they were looking for some stone, and there is some stone down in the gravel pit that we own with Putney. And he visited with Lee, and Lee thought that we could, that they could use this stone for their project. He'd appreciate if they didn't come back and ask for gravel or other things from the pit, but this was stone that was left by Mike Renault when he left the pit, so.
I'm not sure if we can.
Okay?
I was thinking with the interlocal agreement with Putney,
Yep.
we cannot sell material of any type out of
That's
the
right,
pit
that's right,
or gift it.
yeah, huh, okay.
So I'm not sure that we, as much as we might want to, I don't know that we can.
We should maybe look into this some more
Yeah,
and try to figure out. He was going to be taking, their meeting with the Putney road agent to take their annual tour of the pit. And so he was going to discuss it with him. But I think Terry brought that up also, the what was it?
the interlocal agreement.
Yeah, interlocal agreement.
And
So-
even if it's gifted, that's part of
I
the
don't think
stipulation.
we can do
Yeah,
it.
so I guess we
Ah,
should
okay, that sounds, yeah.
look into that, and then maybe by our next meeting, we can have an answer. Let's see, okay, now, is there anything else on that business? No.
All right, I'll make a motion that we recess the meeting and convene as a liquor control board.
Second that.
Great. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we have a request from,
Was towards the front.
okay.
The wine.
I've got Steve. Oh, here it is. This is a rather
Yeah.
unconventional,
Yes.
okay. This is for a wedding, and it's going to be, let's see, July 30th, 2022, from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m.
All right, I'll make a motion that we approve the liquor catering request from Windham Wines for event at Scott Farm on July 30th.
I'll second it.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, and I will abstain. Okay. Mark,
And
okay.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn as liquor control board and reconvene the meeting.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, great. Here we are, back in business. Anything else under new business that you'd like to discuss?
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Second that.